Hi and welcome to another school holiday video. My name is Adrienne and I'm from the town of Walkerville. We are going to show you today another craft activity you can do from home, hopefully with some things you can find around the home, so it's cheap and quick and easy to do. So I'm going to show you how to make two of your own musical instruments. So we're going to do a rain stick, which is very good for winter. We hear lots of rain at the moment, and a little hand drum. So I'm going to start with the rain stick. So for this you need a tube. I'm going to use an old post tube that we had lying around, but you could easily use a cardboard tube from wrapping paper or paper towel or toilet paper. You can make them as big or as small as you want. And I'm just going to wrap mine up in some shiny wrapping paper, but you could paint it or colour it in and make it look all pretty that way. You want to make sure you leave the ends open so that we can tip the rice in later. So I'm just going to measure it there and cut it. So I'm just going to roll it up really easily and stick it together with some sticky tape. Now when you're making your rain stick, you could actually stick other bits and pieces on it too. So if you've got beads or feathers, or you could make a nature one and stick some leaves on the outside. Decorate it however you want to. So now it looks a bit nicer. I am going to wrap up some foil. So when we fill it, we'll mainly fill it with rice. That's what makes the rain sound. But to add a bit of other noise in there, I'm going to do some foil on the inside as well. So take a long piece of foil and then just kind of fold it roughly. Doesn't need to be perfect. And I'm going to take this spare tube that I've got and wrap it around so that it will fit inside our rain stick. Now you want whatever you're wrapping it around to be smaller or thinner than your final tube so that it will still fit inside. You might have just like a wooden spoon or a broom handle that you can use at home. And then I'm going to do a second one. This time I'm going to make this one a bit thinner to provide some other noise. So I'm going to scrunch this one quite thin. And you can use other things in there as well to make a bit of extra noise. It doesn't have to be foil. Anything that the rice is going to hit as it tips through the stick is good. So I'm just going to wrap that round again, make it a bit tighter, and then going to feed it through this one so that they're together. This is a little bit tricky. You might want to get mum or dad, or if you've got older brother or sister to help you. So now you can see my little bit here that I'm going to put into the tube. So I'm just going to hold it and put it in one end and just push it through as I go. Might be easier if I hold it this way. Poking it through. There we go, so it's all inside. Now, because I've used a post tube, I've got a lid on the end of mine, but if you don't have a lid, if you've just used a cardboard tube like that, you'll need to cover your end. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm just using a little bit of a leftover environmental bag that had some holes and had ripped in it, so I'm going to cut that up and reuse that. And I'm just going to cut a nice square, and then put it over the end here, and I'll take just a rubber band to attach it. Now you could just use paper for this, could use cardboard or wrapping paper again. You could use a nice ribbon instead of a rubber band to tie it on. Could glue it on if you want to do that. Just something to make it look a bit nicer as well. Now that that end is sealed, I can tip my rice in. So I've got about a cup of rice here. I'm going to carefully tip it in. And then I'm going to seal up the other end. So I'm going to put that lid on given I've got it. But I'll still put another bit of fabric on. You might even have an old sock you can use to seal it off. I'll just tie the ribbon around this one. And there you go, there's my rain tube. Should we listen to it? Sounds like rain on the roof. So that's the first one, and then I'm going to show you now how to make a hand drum. So for this you need some plastic or paper bowls or cups, and our drum will end up looking like this. So you need 2 of them to go back to back. And then I'm going to take some ribbon, or you could use some string or some twine, and I've used some beads. You need something hard on the end. You could use little, if you've got nuts in the garden, if you can stick them to it, or even lids from your recycling bin, little milk lids, just something small and a bit hard that you can attach to your ribbon. So I've threaded these on and then tied a little knot on the end. I'm just going to tie a little knot on here. You want to make sure your ribbon is long enough to pass over the bowl each side. Now mine is probably too long, so I want it to be able to hit the middle of the bowl. So I'm going to just measure it with my hands and see if it can hit. So that's probably the right length there. So I'll push these beads down a bit further. Now measure it again. That can hit on that side, and then that can hit on that side. So I'll tie my knot there so that they are in the right place, and then I can trim my ribbon at the end. There we go. So now we need to attach our ribbon to the inside of our bowl. I'm just going to use some sticky tape, but if you've got either like a hot glue gun is good too, or some PVA glue if you've got that at home. I'm just going to cut that a bit shorter. But if you use the PVA glue, you'll need to make sure you leave it to dry so it's secure. There we go, so I've just stuck those 2 bits along here with some sticky tape. And then I need to attach my other bowl on the other side. So again, you could use glue. I've got some glue here, and you could just stick it around the edges like this. You're going to make sure you put enough on that they're going to stick together. And then before you seal it over, you need a stick or a straw as your handle. So either will work fine. You might even have a stick from your back garden. I'm going to use this paper straw. Just going to flatten the end a bit there so it's flat. And put it in on the base, and I might actually sticky tape this one in so it's a bit more secure. So I'll put a bit of sticky tape on the end there and then stick it in. So there's your handle. And then I'll stick the other side on. Now, just because we're still waiting for the glue to dry, I'm going to put a little bit of sticky tape on so I can show you how it works. But if you're using glue and you've got time to wait for it to dry, then you don't have to worry about the sticky tape as much. So I'm just going to put some sticky tape around the edges. Like that. And there you go, my hand drum is done. So you play it just like that. So now you've got a rain stick and a hand drum you can make at home. Maybe you can start your own little band with your mum and dad or brothers and sisters or friends. So if you make one of these, please take a photo and post it in the comments. We'd love to see what you make, or if you make anything else at home during the school holidays. And thanks for tuning into this video. Hopefully we'll see you back in the library soon. See ya!